Jeremiah Smith is one of, if not the most hyped up college football recruit in the 2024 college football recruiting class. Coming out of Florida, Jeremiah stands tall at 6'3", 200 pounds. He committed to Ohio State on December 20th, 2023, choosing Ohio State over teams like Florida, Miami, and Florida State. So today, I'm going to be simulating the career of number one recruit in the nation, Jeremiah Smith. With that, let's get into this career simulation. In year number one here, Jeremiah Smith is going to be a 98 overall. Obviously, he's a sophomore. He got the College Football 26 cover athlete, as we saw, obviously, which, I mean, yeah, everybody knows it. But anyway, here, Jeremiah Smith here, 6'3", 215 pounds. I thought it was 200, but whatever. Here's a look at his stats. 95 speed, which is insane. 95 catching, 99 spec catch. I got to do a one-handed catch sooner or later, but pretty good route running, really good elusiveness. Obviously, he has really good speed, but anyway, as for his goals, gold sidestep, platinum double dip, gold takeoff, platinum recoup, and bronze tier shifty. Also, it's platinum recoup. I'm horrible at speaking English, but anyway, before we get into the simulation, I have to do this one-handed catch. I have to try this out. Is it? Okay, no, it's just a regular one-handed catch. I thought it was going to be cooler, but let's get into an instant replay. Look at that. We got to take a little look at it. That is not Jeremiah. Here we go now. Let's take a look at this. I just learned to do that. Don't judge me, but whatever. Anyway, Ohio State this season would go 9-3 on the season. Jeremiah Smith, I think it's truly insane throwing to him. But first loss of the season came to Texas, 38-28. But anyway, here, the next loss came to Penn State, and then to Rutgers, surprisingly, which Penn State, 56, that's a lot. But yeah, Rutgers, 28-24, I find that a bit odd. But anyway, they are not in the college football playoff bracket, or they're not projected to make the college football playoff bracket. It's okay, I already looked at it. Don't ask that I did all the wrong buttons, whatever. Shut up, it doesn't matter. Anyway, here on the Heisman here, John Mateer would end up winning that, 3,202 yards on the season here for 29 touchdowns, 70% completion percentage. That's insane. But anyway, we are going to be playing in the Music City Bowl against the Missouri Tigers. Let's get into that immediately. And I'm expecting Ohio State to win this one. Obviously, there's Ryan Day. There's Jeremiah right there. He got covered up by number 40 there. I have no clue about these rosters. I'm kind of new to college football. I cannot lie. But anyway, here, I'm expecting a pretty good win here. I mean, we are the former national champions. Sucks that we went 9-3, which I actually think they can go 9-3 in real life. I think that's going to be their actual record. Actually, no, maybe 10-2. But speaking of 2, we get a safety only. We're up 7-2. This is a hockey score here. 7-2. We're down 14-2 now. What is going on? 21-9. 21-16. Maybe we can come back. Can we come back? We can. 22-21. Okay. Well, oh no. Okay. I thought we weren't going to make the comeback for a second. But, yeah, I know that we won, but I was expecting way more from the national champions of 2025. We're in the 2026 season now. Which, honestly, yeah, I did predict them to actually do that more. I just don't believe in Julian saying. I don't know why. But anyway, let's get into Jeremiah's stats on the season. And yeah, this year, Jeremiah would, of course, play 13 games, 81 receptions, 1,182 yards on the season, 14.6 average yards per reception, and 7 yards on the game. What? No. 7 touchdowns on the season. Anyway, we're just going to ignore that. Oregon went out of winning the national championship, beating Clemson 41-12. What a game. And of course, this year, Jeremiah would choose to stay with Ohio State at a 99 overall. He has a 96 overall quarterback throwing to him now. Darian Mensah. He's a junior, redshirt junior. I'm not using real college football players, obviously, in the next draft, which actually, that's not obvious. Only if you watch these videos, you would know that. Which, I mean, only like 2 people have. Who cares? Doesn't matter about that. But anyway, here at a 99 overall, he maxed out his quickness, maxed out his hands. He has 3 away from his route running. That's really good. Maxed out his elusiveness. He just needs power, IQ, and route running. He'll be a perfect 99 overall. Or he won't be a perfect 99 overall. He'll be a perfect 99 overall for his stats. But didn't upgrade any of his physicals this year. He only got silver tier shifty. That's the only physical he upgraded. But anyway, the Buckeyes would go 9-3 once again, losing to Texas again, USC, and they would lose to their rivals, Michigan. That sucks. But anyway, this year on the Heisman, Arch Manning would end up taking it home, 3,976 yards and 36 touchdowns. But anyway, let's see. Are we making the college football playoff? We are not. We are going to be playing the ReliaQuest Bowl against New Mexico, the Lobos here. But anyway, here, let's get into that game. They are 64 overall. I'm expecting us to obviously win this one. Here we go. Now we are at the ReliaQuest Bowl against the New Mexico Lobos. 0-0 score here. We are obviously, also, gotta tell, we are on 10-minute quarters, 7-0 only, 14-0 at the end of the half. This is a really bad score for Ohio State. I mean, 21-2, you pick it up now. Can't really do anything. 24-6, at least you block a field, or I guess they went for 2. Whatever, it doesn't matter. 24-6. I'm expecting, me personally, I would go back for one more season because this is an embarrassment. Only putting up, what is that? You only put up, 18-point lead against New Mexico? That's crazy. But anyway, let's get into Jeremiah's stats on the season here. 13 games played. He had 80 receptions. I almost looked at Ennis's stats, or wish he was worse than, but whatever. 1,083 yards on the season, 13.5 average yards per receptions, and 11 touchdowns on the season. This year, Texas, our first week rivals, I guess that's not a real thing, but they ended up winning the national championship over Oregon, 41-38. Also, I already checked all the Heisman winners, awards winners, all the All-Americans and stuff. He did not get any. Well, he actually won second team All-American for Big Ten. Actually, I saw that, but whatever. All that matters is that Jeremiah Smith is going to be going to the 2027 NFL draft with his quarterback, which is not getting imported to Madden, which Jeremiah Smith is getting imported to Madden, which let's go see that really quick. Here he is in Madden. Jeremiah Smith wearing that number 4 on Ohio State. Here's a look at his stats. I gave him superstar because he had the highest, I think, development trait in the game, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it was star or elite now that I think of it. Maybe that wasn't the best decision to get him star or superstar, but here's a look at his gear 2 if you're interested in that. I'll just give you a quick look at his entire player profile. All right, now that that's done, let's take a look at Jeremiah Smith. He is an 80 overall, which, I mean, yeah, we saw that he's projected 8th. But actually, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look by overall. He should actually be the number 1 overall pick, which he's actually projected to be the number 1 overall pick. So I'm going to go ahead and change that, which is going to be off screen, but whatever. But let's get into the NFL draft. I'm assuming you already saw the pre-draft animation before. But anyway, here, the Saints have the number 1 overall pick here. But let's see, yep, he is projected to go first overall, age 20, out of Ohio State. But let's also take a look. Is the Saints. I'm a little bad at English, that is on me. But anyway, do they need a receiver? I mean, they have Chris Olave, but I mean, he's getting he's in his prime, actually. So I don't think they should draft Jeremiah first overall. I mean, they should. They just don't need him. But let's see. Who gets drafted first overall? It's going to be Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, Ohio State. Yeah, it's going to be him. Honestly, I don't know if I like this decision for the career simulation, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, here, Jeremiah Smith is hidden dev, which obviously we saw he's a superstar. He's going to be wearing number 83, too. I mean, yeah, I guess his number 4 is taken. Isn't Chris Olave number 4? No, that's Kool-Aid McKinstry's number 4, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, anyway, he's going to be 81. He's deep threat, which, let's see, he is 51st in receivers, actually, which here's a quick look at his stats and all. But let's get into year number 1 of the sim, which is not the best, as the Saints would go 3-14 on the season, 16th in the NFC, not the NFC South, which, I mean, yeah, also in the NFC South. But Taj Peterson, this guy doesn't look the best. But anyway, Jeremiah Smith here, 58 receptions, 664 yards, 11.4 average yards per reception, and 3 touchdowns on the season. Anyway, here in the Super Bowl here would be the Green Bay Packers winning the Super Bowl, beating the Kansas City Chiefs 24-20. That was not English. But anyway, Jeremiah Smith would not, you heard me right, would not end up winning Rookie of the Year, or Offensive Rookie of the Year. That's on me. But here's a look at the past Super Bowl champions. But yeah, anyway, year number 2 here. Jeremiah Smith is already an 87, which is really good. I mean, yeah, he's superstar. He's going to be an 87. He's 2 overalls away from reaching Chris Olave's overall. One more win for the Saints here, but it's not good, as we see 16th in the NFC, last in the NFC South, which, I mean, obviously, also these quarterbacks, they don't look like they're cutting it. Tyler Shuck, you're probably 30 billion years old at this point, but 71 receptions from Jeremiah Smith, 1,082 yards for Jeremiah too. I think that was his sophomore season stats too, right? But 15.2 average yards per receptions and 2 touchdowns on the game. In this year's Super Bowl, it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers beating the Denver Broncos 21-20, and no hardware for Jeremiah Smith this year once again. But this year, Jeremiah Smith catches up with Chris Olave, 89 overall at 22 years old, which is really good. I mean, the team around him, not the best, but yeah, anyway, he is still a superstar. He's physical now. I don't get that really, but I want to see, is there a better jersey number for him? Or is 4 still available? Oh, I know, Kool-Aid McKinstry, duh. I keep on forgetting that, but let's change his number. What's a good number for him? Is 1 good? 5, 2? I think we should do 5. Let's do 5. 5 looks good. Let's do 5. Which, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but the Saints this year would go 8-9 on the season. This time, not last in the NFC South, but they were 3rd. And, yeah, just below the Carolina Panthers. Which, Taj Peterson, this guy's just not good. Also, that's not Tyler Shucks. I don't even know who that is. But, oh, I did not mean to do that. Is he a rookie, though? Oh, I don't see that. Where is he from? He is from USC's 24. What is with the Saints in drafting these horrible old quarterbacks? I don't get it. But anyway, as for receiving here for Jeremiah Smith, it's going to be 54 receptions for him, 709 receiving yards, 13.1 average yards per reception. I don't even know what that is. The AVG, I think it's average yards per receptions. I don't know. I'm bad at this, but 3 touchdowns on the game as well, which, I mean, he also missed a game, so yeah, he didn't have the best stats. But anyway, I mean, it doesn't really affect anything, right? But anyway, this year in the Super Bowl, 34-33 would be the score. The Lions taking on the Bills. And this year, Chris Olave is gone, as Jeremiah Smith is now a 90 overall here. And this season, the Saints would finish 2nd in the NFC South, going 10-7. They grabbed the number 7 seed for the playoffs. They're going to be playing the New York Giants in the first round. I'm so used to looking at the AFC because my last few career simulations were all AFC, which is weird. It feels so weird. I'm just seeing that Terry McLaurin re-signed with the Washington Commanders, too. That's cool. But anyway, Jeremiah Smith, 58 receptions this season, 763 yards, 13.2 average. You know what? I'm just going to skip over that. But he had 5 touchdowns on this season. As for the playoffs, the New Orleans Saints will get bounced in the first round against the New York Giants, 24-17. It's going to be the Bills and the Bears in the Super Bowl. And the Bills would end up taking it 30-24 as they win their first Super Bowl after losing 7, I think is what it was. No, it was 5, I guess. But Trevor Nash, our rookie quarterback, is actually going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which is really good. But Jeremiah Smith this year, 91 overall at Superstar Dev still. I'm surprised he's not a Superstar, which, I mean, yeah, I guess. But anyway, he has a new contract. I hate this glitch so much. He signed with a 5-year deal with the New Orleans Saints, $61.9 million a year. But let's see on this season here, Jeremiah Smith and the New Orleans Saints, 13 and the NFC South. I said and the NFC South. 6-11 on the season low. That is not good at all. Anyway, Jeremiah, 68 receptions, 946 yards, and 7 touchdowns on this season. And in the Super Bowl here, it's going to be the Washington Commanders beating the Denver Broncos 14-9. Other way around, actually, but no awards for Jeremiah Smith this year. 92 overall, though. Next year, in year number 5. Actually, no, it's year number 6, right? Because it was rookie year, and then he was year number 1. Wait, no, it'd be year number 5. Okay, you know what? I was wrong this whole time. But anyway, here, the New Orleans Saints would finish 1 seed away from making the playoffs. They go 9-8. That is a heartbreaker. The Packers get in instead. I guess they had just 1 more point than them, I guess. I don't know how that works, honestly. But anyway, receiving for Jeremiah Smith, 64 receptions, 948 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. That is 6 touchdowns, not 5. And this year in the playoffs would be the Philadelphia Eagles winning the Super Bowl over the Cincinnati Bills, 34-28. Also Cincinnati Bengals, not Bills. Anyway, Jeremiah Smith this year, 92 overall here, still at Superstar. Also, I saw their quarterback, that rookie quarterback, he's already Superstar X Factor. I don't know how that works, but the Saints are 9-8 this season, and I accidentally sent him to past the Super Bowl. But yeah, the New Orleans Saints would lose to the Los Angeles Rams in the first round, but 65 receptions here from Jeremiah, 904 yards to 7 touchdowns on the season. Next year here, Jeremiah is already up to a 95 overall, still not a Superstar X Factor, unfortunately, but in year number 7 here, he's now 27 years old. He's probably in his prime. This is probably his max development, but the New Orleans Saints would go 11-6 on the season here. They're going to be playing the Green Bay Packers in the first round. But as for Jeremiah, he would get 64 receptions on this season, 984 yards, and 9 touchdowns. This season, though, the Packers would end up beating us in the first round, 49-26. Jeremiah is also up to a 96 this year, which I thought they stopped developing after 27. I guess not. Maybe this is the season, but 6-11 this year for the Saints. I guess that was a Cinderella run. What is it? No, Mickey Mouse run. The Packers got in at 7-10. I just saw. I didn't even realize that in my first year of recording this, but 79 receptions here for Jeremiah, 1,031 yards on the season, and 5 touchdowns. Here in the Super Bowl, it's going to be Los Angeles Chargers taking home the Super Bowl, beating the Atlanta Falcons 26-21. This year, though, Jeremiah would actually leave the New Orleans Saints. Sorry, Cowboys fans, that is not Jeremiah. But anyway, let's take a look at where he is. He's on the Chargers now. They just won the Super Bowl, so hopefully Jeremiah can actually take one home himself. But anyway, here, Jeremiah, he is still wearing number 81, which, I mean, 81's cool. That's Calvin Johnson, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm correct and you're wrong. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. 4-year deal for Jeremiah on a 88.3, not 68.3, but the Chargers this year, 14th in the AFC West. Yep, the defending Super Bowl champions I don't even know what happened, but yeah, the Super Bowl, it's going to be 30-24. The Baltimore Ravens win it over the New York Giants. But anyway, here, yes, I did simulate past the Super Bowl. That is on me. But anyway, receiving for Jeremiah Smith, 91 receptions, 1,210 yards. That is his best season so far, and he had 5 touchdowns this year. Jeremiah, finally, now at age 30 here in year number 10, is going to be a 96 overall. Still no regression yet. Not even in his X Factor yet either, but 13-4 this year for the Chargers. I guess, yes, last year was just a down year. But we're going to have the 1 seed in the AFC, not the NFC. I always get that mixed up for some reason. I do not know why. But anyway, here receiving the Jeremiah Smith on the Los Angeles Chargers. 65 receptions, 886 yards, and 6 touchdowns this season. And this year, Jeremiah Smith and the Los Angeles Chargers will make it all the way to the Super Bowl. They're going to be playing the Green Bay Packers, who 3 years ago just made the playoffs, going 7-10. I assume they're the 7th seed, obviously, which, I mean, yeah, you would expect it. Well, let's take a look at the overall matchup. They are 90 overall. That's going to be a little bit of a tough matchup. We are in 87, which, I mean, that's still really good. It's not 90 overall, though. I mean, I just want to take a look at this animation though first. We have to see if Jeremiah is here. I just want to see it. Let's see it. You think the Packers still have Jordan Love though? I don't think they will. But anyway, here, let's get into this animation. I'll stop talking and just show the animation, you know. Let's go, Content Monkey. Woo! And there's Jeremiah here. Oh, okay, I did that a bit early, but I don't know why there's no audio here. There's a look at the 2 quarterbacks. I have no clue who either of them are. I saw Hoskins for the Packers. I don't know who our guy is, even though we've literally saw him every time he took a look at the stats. I could have just looked at it there. That is the wrong one. I have to simulate to the end of the game. But anyway, it's still on 10-minute quarters here. 7-7. Still 7-7. Okay, this is getting pretty boring. 14-7. We're going to take a lead at halftime. It's going to be 14-14. They tie it up. We're up 21-14 now. 28-14 maybe. No, they get in there. Nope. No, we're back. 28-14, 35-14. This game is in the bag. The Los Angeles Chargers and Jeremiah Smith have won a Super Bowl 35-14. What is this? I don't even know which Super Bowl this is, but whatever. I have to find Jeremiah Smith. I have an obsession with finding him after every season. I thought that was him. I saw there he is. You didn't really see him for a while, but he was there at least. But yeah, wearing that number 81. Bro, think he Calvin Johnson. Bro will never be Calvin Johnson. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe he will. Who knows? He's not really looking like it this so far though. But anyway, here, let's see if we can find him here. The Super Bowl. I don't know why it still says Super Bowl 60. I hate that so much. Roger Goodell handing off to Jim Harbaugh. That's not how you say his name. Jim Harbaugh. But anyway, here, yep, 35-14, the score for the Super Bowl, obviously, but no awards. Once again, also Garrison Williams is our quarterback. He will win Super Bowl MVP. But anyway, here, wide receiver Jeremiah Smith is up to a 95 now. Down to a 95 now at year number 11 at 31 years old. But anyway, the Chargers on the season would finish 11-6 on the season, 5th in the AFC, 2nd in the AFC West. They're going to be taking, I said West. What am I doing? They're going to be taking on the Jets in the first round of the playoffs, 4th seed. Wait, no, we're the 5th seed. No, they're the 4th. I don't even know what's happening at this point. This thing is going on for too long. 81 receptions this year for Jeremiah, 1,151 yards, 6 touchdowns on the season as well. Boy, that took way longer than I wanted it to, but in the divisional round of the AFC, we are going to be losing to our divisional rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, by just 1 point, 29-28, heartbreaker. But in the Super Bowl, it's going to be the Rams and the Houston Texans, as the Rams take it 28-24, and no awards this year for Jeremiah either. Nothing much for regression or progression this year for Jeremiah, but 15-2 on the season for the Chargers. First seed in the AFC, which, I mean, yeah, that's obviously 15-2, which, I mean, I guess you could actually be the number 2 seed at 15-2, which that is, like, basically impossible or whatever. 84 receptions here for Jeremiah Smith, 1,087 yards, and 8 touchdowns on the season anyway in the playoffs here. We are going to be losing in the AFC Championship to the Cincinnati Bengals, who are now in the Super Bowl, which, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, but anyway. The Cincinnati Bengals, 24-17, we are going to be losing to. They are going to be in the Super Bowl versus the Lions, which in that Super Bowl, 21-17, the Cincinnati Bengals would take it over the Detroit Lions, 21-17. And once again, as we saw last year, no hard for Jeremiah Smith. I hate this so much. Why you never win it. But anyway, here, Jeremiah Smith leaves Los Angeles. He's going to be re-signing with the Washington Commanders. That is actually the what's it called? The thumbnail cover pick, the thumbnail cover team that I use, which that was not planned. Okay, I make my thumbnails like 2 days before I record them, but there's a look at Jeremiah Smith in a jersey. Let's see his contract, 2-year deal worth $21.6 million, which is weird because that's less than whatever he has, but yeah, anyway. I forgot to show our record here, but we would end up losing in the first round of the playoffs, 28-24 to the Atlanta Falcons. Also, Jeremiah's old team, the New Orleans Saints, are in the Super Bowl this year, which they are going to be losing to the New England Patriots. I almost said the New Orleans Saints, which we are the New Orleans Saints. 21-17 would be the score, though. The New England Patriots take it. And this year, Jeremiah is at an 88 in his last contract year with the Washington Commanders. This could be his last year. Who knows? But anyway, Jeremiah Smith, 12-5 on the season for his team. The Washington Commanders are going to be having the number 2 seed. They're going to be playing the Dallas Cowboys in the first round of the playoffs. And as for Jeremiah, as for his receiving stats, which are quarterbacks actually, I mean, he's okay. But anyway, Jeremiah Smith, 56 receptions, 56, 781 yards, and 8 touchdowns, which he played a full season this year, which that kind of confuses me. But anyway, in the divisional round of the NFC, the Washington Commanders would end up losing to the Chicago Bears 28-3. And this year, it would end up being Jeremiah Smith to retire this season after 14 years, I think it was. But yeah, no, I wanted him to play more, but anyway, here, 1,028 receptions here on the career from Jeremiah, 14,145 yards, 13-point average yards per receptions. I still don't know how to do that. 56.1 average yards per game and 89 touchdowns. That's a little bit underwhelming, I can't lie, but 70 was his longest receiving touchdown, which that's really, really good. But anyway, he would not break any records, so I'm just not going to waste your time here. But anyway, that'll be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more career simulations like this, like and subscribe. I will be making more in the future for both college football and Madden 26. I'm going to be doing Hockey Legacy Manager 26 career sims soon. That won't be like the same as like college football 26 because there won't be as much gameplay. They'll be much shorter, but if you're interested in that, I just decided to plug it, which the game comes out I think September 5th, which is in a few days. So yeah, anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, goodbye.